So in terms of how Native American women are portrayed on the big screen, I think the beauty of Pocahontas, as seen in the Disney movie, is definitely more positive than the older portrayal as the Native American women as dirty, ugly savages. And while the portrayal is more positive, is it accurate? And I think we can all agree that Native American women, like all women across the globe, are actually tall, short, overweight, thin, dark, light, and beautiful in their own way. And never know when that's going to hit me. So wouldn't it be wonderful if Native Americans were portrayed and seen as people with many different attributes, just like people of all races? So I like to view the evolution of the portrayal of Native Americans, and women in particular, as on a positive trend towards being seen as we are, which is human. Thank you. And Ellen, if you want to come forward for the anthem. We're going to hear from Ellen Scarcella. She's going to be singing Thankful by Celine Dion. This is quite a treat.
Good morning, everybody. I think the theme of gratitude is a really good one for not only this month, but for me every day. And I hope this song speaks to you as much as it did to me. Technology has its moments. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ellen Scarcella, and I've been a member of this church since last summer. I'm just very grateful for this community. Circle around like butterflies, escape the pouring rain, run into the alleyways, steal a little kiss again. You're my only weakness, but somehow you made me strong. After chasing ghosts and fairy tales, I'm right where I belong. I don't know where I've been looking, and I don't care where you have been before, but I'm thankful to be here, thankful to feel clear, thankful my prayers have been answered. I'm thankful you listened, thankful to heaven, thankful for feeling alive again, thankful that hearts always mend. I write it all on paper dolls, let them play their little games of who loves who and what is true. No one ever takes the blame. I see you through the window and it takes my breath away, but I lose the floor beneath me, and that's all that's left to say. And I don't know where I was going, and I don't care where we have been before, but I'm thankful to be here, thankful to feel clear, thankful my prayers have been answered, and I'm thankful you listened, thankful to heaven, thankful for feeling alive again, that hearts always mend. Thank you.
I am thankful to you, Ellen Scarcella. November's theme has been nurturing gratitude, and we covered gratitude practices, growing gratitude. We had our Volunteer Appreciation Sunday last week. That was amazing. And we are ending with this, with Thanksgiving Beyond Colonizer Perspectives. And I am thankful to Sandra for bringing your take on Pocahontas, on Indigenous representation in popular culture. And I particularly appreciate your comment that you don't speak for all Native Americans, and the implied truth that Indigenous people are not a monolith any more than any white Americans are. I also want to acknowledge the comfort that the Thanksgiving holiday brings to so many people, especially with the news cycle as disturbing as it is. Last week, today, last month, we all need all the comfort and solace we can get, right? And the temptation is to leave Thanksgiving alone, not spoil a perfectly comforting holiday with actual historical truth. But as you know, that is not the way our denomination works. That's not the way it has worked historically. We value the truth, and it's not the way it works now. We value the truth, even if it makes us uncomfortable. So those of you who aren't Indigenous in the room, get ready for me to spoil your Thanksgiving. I spoiled Columbus Day a few weeks ago, so I'm being consistent at least. For any other Indigenous people here, what I'm about to tell you will be quite familiar, and I will not be spoiling the concept of thankfulness, nor the importance of a holiday specifically to promote thankfulness. The Colonizer narrative of Thanksgiving portrays a peaceful, united harvest feast between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag people. This narrative is a misleading oversimplification that erases the brutal history of colonization and Indigenous suffering. The narrative minimizes or ignores the violence, the land theft, the broken treaties, and disease that decimated Indigenous populations. For many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is not a celebration but a national day of mourning, as it marks the beginning of a history of oppression, violence, and the systemic dispossession of their lands. This accurate history might be banned from Florida schools, as it could make white children feel uncomfortable. Again, though, Unitarian Universalists have our history of seeking truth despite any discomfort, and we also have a history of lifting up voices who have been marginalized, voices who have been silenced, voices who have been banned. The story of Pocahontas has also been shaped by colonizer perspective. According to the Indigenous Foundation, Pocahontas was one of the first real-life missing and murdered Indigenous women. Disney's version of Pocahontas centers John Smith, the man Pocahontas supposedly fell in love with. In reality, John Smith came to her town when she was only 9 or 10 years old, when he was 27. The two were never romantically involved. And John Smith was feared by many Indigenous children and was known to enter villages and hold various chiefs of tribes at gunpoint, demanding food and supplies. According to Indian Country Today, renamed ICT Publications, the true story of Pocahontas is a tragic tale of a young Native girl who was kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and allegedly murdered by those who were supposed to keep her safe. Sandra talked about her experiences, some of her experiences of anti-Indigenous racism, and those experiences reflect widely held prejudice by white Americans. At worst, indigenous people are seen as, quote, savages who benefit from Western education and conversion to Christianity. At worst, they're seen as Pocahontas is seen. Sorry, the first one was at worst. At best, they're seen as Pocahontas is seen, as beautiful, noble beings who are connected to the earth. But they're seen that way in a simple and reductive manner, still within the overall lens of savage, of primitive. And Disney's rendering of a beautiful Pocahontas is, as Sandra says, a slight step up. But Disney and others still portray indigenous people as two-dimensional, rather as full, complex human beings, as Sandra suggests. And the concept of certain races and certain people being seen as worthy of complexity, being seen as fully human, should resonate with those of us who know history, as well as those of us who watch the news this week. Our current government actively demonizes undocumented immigrants, trans and non-binary people, women, black, indigenous people of color. While many of us were eating Thanksgiving dinner, Sheridan Murphy and others from the American Indian movement were praying and fasting in front of the internment camp known as Alligator Alcatraz. Murphy, a local indigenous activist and friend of our church, said the number of people who took the time to drive, in some cases 4 or 5 hours, to stand with us, often in the driving rain, to show humanity and solidarity with those human beings under attack, and to show human beings oppose genocide, was uplifting. Sheridan says the courage of the relatives of those interred in inhumane, deplorable conditions by the United States at Alligator Alcatraz showed us it's our responsibility to bring the human beings together, to resist and destroy the predatory colonial settler mindset and authority, so the humans and creation can live. Now, Sheridan Murphy's actions and words might be labeled political, but I see them as deeply spiritual. To stand in the rain in opposition to injustice, to notice and feel this connection between himself and those inside the prison walls, is a manifestation, to me, of our values, our theology as Unitarian Universalists. Now, a few days ago, UUA Vice President Ashley Horan attended a No Kings demonstration. Reverend Horan said that the heart of Unitarian Universalism is that we are, whether we like it or not, completely interdependent. We are interconnected, she says, in ways we can't even fully understand. So when an administration like this, she said, is taking dehumanizing action against people, when our communities are at risk, when democracy is at risk, when the planet is at risk, it is our moral duty to come together, to remind society, to remind each other that we are in fact each other's comfort. We are in fact each other's salvation here in this life, here in this world. Reverend Ashley said, when you see thousands of people together declaring that democracy matters, that schools matter, that medicine and science matters, that immigrants matter, that we're all in a giant community together, that's what we need to keep going. Okay, maybe I didn't ruin Thanksgiving. How many of you remember Reverend Aaliyah Cannon, who used to be a member here, just right when I got here? Aaliyah posted this on Thanksgiving. She said, "I stopped honoring the false history of Thanksgiving decades ago, but I choose to honor the gifts of friendship, which I never tire of receiving and giving away to others." So, may we continue to nurture gratitude, practice gratitude, grow gratitude. May we continue to appreciate volunteers and all who work for our mission. Let us remain thankful to be part of this denomination, part of this movement, part of this church. Let us remain thankful for Unitarian Universalist indigenous leaders like Reverend Danielle DeBona, Reverend Clyde Grubbs, and Sandra Moss. Let us remain thankful for the clarion call of our theological principles of interdependence, of justice, of equity. And let us remain thankful for the accurate history provided often by indigenous voices that allows us to celebrate this holiday separate from harmful colonial myths. I am thankful to be in this community and to do this work alongside you. I hope you are too. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. Its life itself can only be derived from its living components, us. In the sanctuary, the offering will now be given and received. That which is given in love is received with great joy. Thank you.
Please rise as you're willing and able for our closing hymn. It's number 67 in the gray hymnal, same section. We sing now together, and I think we're doing verses 1 and 4. 1 and 4.
We sing now together our song of thanksgiving, rejoicing in God, which the ages have wrought, for life that enfolds us and helps and heals and holds us, and leads beyond the goals which our forebears once sought. We sing of community now in the making, in every far continent, region, and land, with those of all races, all times, and names and places, we pledge our ourselves in covenant firmly to stand.
You may be seated.
And today's closing words are a gratitude prayer that the UUA recently reposted on Facebook. The title is, "We Are Still Grateful," and the author is Connie Simon. And thank you, Morgan Gresham, for sharing this post with us so that we can share it with you.
Spirit of life, we have been distressed by economic uncertainty, and many of us continue to struggle financially. We have been racked by political divisiveness that has torn apart families and friendships.
We have been troubled by racial injustice and prejudice that continues to divide us at a time that we need one another more than ever. We are tired, and still we are grateful.
Grateful for the earth that produces the food we eat. Grateful for the hands that grow it, tend it, deliver it, and prepare it.
Grateful for the warmth of the sun.
And shelter from the cold.
Grateful for those who work to heal our sickness.
Grateful for our friends and families, even though we may find ourselves apart this Thanksgiving.
Grateful for one another and the opportunity to begin again in love, to address our differences and mend our relationships. Grateful for the gift of life itself. We are grateful.
We are grateful. Please remain seated as Liam plays our postlude.
And now we will extinguish our chalice. And we invite you to follow along with the hand gestures, light of truth, warmth of love, and fire of courage, as Joanne extinguishes our chalice. And the words to UU St. Pete's traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Our worship is over, but our service begins. Please join us for coffee hour in Gilmore Hall, but first please stay for a special announcement from Sandra. All are welcome, as I said, to time with the minister with our president, Trish, in the library. We hope this time together will help you through your week. Will help you remember you are not alone. Sandra?
Well, next month on the 22nd is my birthday, and I'm inviting everyone to a party.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What do you mean?
It's my month. It's my birthday.
No, mine is the 22nd.
My birthday's the 21st. I win.
Well, we need to solve this. What are we going to do?
We could team up. We can invite everybody
We're going to have a party
to
together.
our birthday party. What do you think we should do, Sandra?
Let's get a party boat out of Madeira Beach.
Oh my God, I love a party boat. What would that include?
Well, you would get a whole buffet. There's entrees and sides and vegetables and fruit and wine and beer, soda and rum punch.
Oh my goodness, and any activities?
Drinking, dancing. There's gonna be music.
Wait, drinking came first. That was funny. And so how would we do this? Because that sounds expensive.
Well, for $50, it includes everything, and it's from 6 to 8 is the cruise. You get there at 5:30. We'll board, and we'll all party together. And you can give your money to this lady.
I promise I'll use it for this cruise. I'm not going to go anywhere, although I've thought about no, we really sincerely, as you can imagine, kind of get shafted because there's another thing that happens in December. That's not our birthdays.
Yeah.
And when we found out we had our birthdays so close together, we thought, well, let's do something fun. And we hope that you all can make it. We're going to try to get invitations out, but that's a lot of work, and we're working on it. So we wanted to announce it here. But please see me. I have every kind of payment because I do Zelle and Venmo and whatever. So, but we'd love to see you. We'd love to have everybody, and we can have at least 75 people. It's also an excuse to dress up, which is kind of fun. So we love you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sunday, December 21st, my birthday.